With it being such a major project, we all knew that the Chicago Street Race was going to have tons of news breaking about it and really coming out about it until the race weekend itself in 2023. And this week is no different. So today, let's go into what was announced, changed, and also what we learned about the Chicagoland Speedway, because it's honestly pretty interesting when you look at what's been said of the timetable and the plan moving forward. So, to start off, the former Phoenix Raceway president, Julie Giese, will step down from her role at the Phoenix Raceway to relocate to Chicago after the 2022 season. Now, she is known as one of the biggest up-and-comers in the NASCAR industry at the moment. For instance, she did work promoting the $400 million redevelopment of Daytona International Speedway, the one that we currently see today. She also works with a lot of local businesses as well to get them involved and in communities that NASCAR is working in. And she oversaw the $178 million modernization and renovation of Phoenix Raceway to create it as a state-of-the-art sports and entertainment facility. And that track has had the championship race since 2020 and will have it through at least 2023. And that's really big for the Chicago Street Race, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But the thing that caught my eye and caught the eyes of a lot of other NASCAR fans is what she said about Chicago and the Chicagoland Speedway. Adam Stern tweeted it out from an article in the Chicago Tribune where she had said, Chicagoland, quote, won't reopen for racing until after the 3 to 5 year deal with Chicago runs its course. Now, this is huge in a lot of ways, but the biggest way is that we now have a roadmap of sorts for the long-term plans of the Chicago area with NASCAR and the Chicagoland Speedway. It will inevitably be put on this video, and it's put in every video I make multiple times about the Chicagoland Speedway, as well as any post I have on social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or the occasional post anywhere else. The Chicagoland Speedway got torn to the ground. It's gonna get torn to the ground. It's not coming back. It's dead. This definitively says that this track, while not being as alive and not having the great NASCAR races and IndyCar races it once had, will have a future in NASCAR. Now, I hold it on some pretty good authority from sources I know that the Chicagoland Speedway has been taken care of. NASCAR has not forgotten about this track, and NASCAR by no means is destroying it. Yes, some of the land has been sold off, but that is just some excess land that wasn't being used very much in general beforehand. Instead, what they're doing is keeping it race ready, it seems. When I was out there in early July, it looked pretty much ready to go. If you mowed the lawn and put some weed killer over some of the weeds that were on the pathways around the track and the roads around the track, it would look like any other racetrack. It looked like the Nashville Superspeedway or the Kansas Speedway before the renovations. It doesn't by any means look like a track that's been abandoned. And that's something really important to say in all this. The track is ready. The next-gen car currently races well at these 1.5 miles. And overall, you can see that the Chicagoland Speedway has some sort of future in NASCAR, even if it doesn't mean the Cup guys will come back every single year. So I also want to say that this is really big for the Chicago area as well. This woman has been a premier piece of bringing together some of the biggest projects in NASCAR over the last probably decade or so. The Daytona Rising project was absolutely tremendous in changing Daytona from a facility that was well behind the times back at the start of the 2010s. When I was there, I was amazed how almost kind of like a dump it looked compared to other venues I had been to. Through the years, I've been to football games in Cincinnati and Minnesota. I've been to baseball games in Wrigley Field, and all of these facilities felt much more state-of-the-art, or at least advanced, than Daytona. Now, Daytona is probably the most advanced sporting facility I've ever been to. Maybe that doesn't speak too highly of what I've been to, but it says a lot. So with Giese having her knowledge, her leadership role put in with the first Chicago street course will be huge in trying to make this event a modern event. It seems that she is very much focused on the modernization aspect of NASCAR, bringing it up from the late 90s and 2000s where a lot of these tracks and experiences are to the modern day. Now, you can always point out issues with these newer facilities. There's going to be issues no matter where you go. But the big premise here is bringing people who are used to a normal, modernized sports culture to a NASCAR race and making them feel at home. That is what the Chicago Street Race is for. Now, there's no telling if she's going to stick around for the Chicagoland Speedway if it comes back. Currently, there is no functioning track president at the Chicagoland Speedway after Scott Paddock left, but it would be something that with a NASCAR-owned track would be preferable for them once the street race goes through its time on the NASCAR schedule. The Chicagoland Speedway is another track that is woefully unprepared for the modern day, and if Chicagoland Speedway came back in the condition it's in now, yes, it could run a race, but it would be behind the times and not bring people back. So what's the point of bringing Chicagoland back if you can't at least get the amenities and the facility itself when it comes to giving the fans something fun to interact with and experience? What's the point of coming back? It's just going to shut down again. So if she is the one who is in charge of this facility, once it does come back on the NASCAR schedule, look for Chicagoland to go from probably one of the lesser tracks fan experience-wise to one of the greater ones, similar to what the Kansas Speedway did. Like I'm saying, this is huge for all aspects here. And this also means that having someone like her involved means that even if the Chicago street race falls through and the Chicagoland Speedway is the backup plan, which I assume it is at the moment. Daytona won't be, and I don't think Road America is something that NASCAR's keen to going back to if they can't own it like they would with Chicagoland. If that is the case, Chicagoland Speedway will be in great hands for its return and maybe have more success this time. It's at a disadvantage from where it's at, but at the same time, with the right people involved, just as with any track, it will be able to not only survive, but also to thrive. And that is huge, and that's what anyone who is wanting Chicagoland Speedway back needs to be hoping for. Now, I know that this stuff is a lot of hope. I am somebody who went to Chicagoland Speedway for a long time, and I honestly just want to see one more race there. But hearing this stuff makes me go from hearing rumors and there's some talks about the track and having just more hope to go off of to having a concrete plan. Yes, Chicagoland Speedway at the minimum will not be coming back until 2026, but it will be coming back from the way they're putting it. NASCAR doesn't want to leave the Chicago market, and the Chicagoland Speedway, while not being in the city, is still in that market, and they can still profit off of it and also market off of it. So NASCAR is in a good place with this, and seeing how the Speedway is pretty much ready to go, it looks like they might be able to just go from one to the other with relative ease. Now, with all that being said, I want to pass this all off to you. What do you think about the news with the entire Chicago street race and also the Chicagoland Speedway? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. And until next time, have a good one.